Hey team, I'm Maddie. Welcome to ScienceSideUp. And today we're gonna do Chemtrails Part 2.2. So, I bet you have a few questions, such as, where have you been for a month? And why are you not in your studio with your cool, professional lighting that your sister got you for Christmas and other assorted things? Well, it is Oklahoma in July, and I'm approximately here, which means that in my garage, which is uninsulated, it's approximately 12 million degrees. So we're just gonna record in the living room, and we're gonna see how it goes. So that's first question. The second question: where have I been for a month? Honestly, team, the world caught fire, but even more so, and I just sort of needed to disengage from the interwebs for a little bit, and then I went to go start recording, and then my garage was super hot, and I know that's not really an excuse, but it's really hot. So we're doing this. It's gonna be great. The goal is to go back to one video a week to come out on Sundays. That's the plan. I've got the next few planned out. And yeah. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay, so in Chemtrails Part 2, Part 1, we looked at, we kind of analyzed how do you determine the validity of a pop science article, right? And in that whole video, we really struggled to find the specific paper we were referencing. And actually, I have about 45 minutes of more footage of me trying to find a reference to that paper, which I did not subject you guys to. And I never ended up finding the specific thing they were referencing, but I did find the research group at Harvard that article was talking about. So I thought we could just go through that together. So I've got my laptop, and I thought, yeah, we'll just go through it. I'll talk about it, and we'll see what's up. Okay. How is it 89 degrees in Maine? That seems silly. That seems incorrect. Okay, so the research group that article was referencing is this: Harvard's Solar Geoengineering Research Program. And there's something that I want to point out, and that is, it seems like most of the people in this group are either environmental scientists or, again, geoengineers, and not actually atmospheric scientists, which I do find interesting, because I, as someone in a PhD program for meteorology, I've got a few comments. The claim that was made in that article I was sent was that this group is actively spraying chemicals into the atmosphere through airplanes as chemtrails for the purposes of geoengineering of some variety. Hi, there's also two dogs in here with me. One is sitting on my feet and just tried to play with this cable. His name is Shep, and then Chester is over here. I'll get pictures of them, of the very good boys, who are sometimes mischievous, and today they're a little bit in trouble. But that is not the point of this video, even though they are adorable. Okay, so Harvard Solar Geoengineering Research Program. We could go through all of this website, but when I just looked at this briefly, I was really excited that this is their most recent publication in Environmental Research Letters. So Environmental Research Letters is the journal, This is their publication, and this article is open access. So I feel good about reading through this article with you guys here live on the internet. So this is having warming with stratospheric aerosol geoengineering moderates policy relevant climate hazards. And like I said, this is the most recent article published by this research group. So stratospheric aerosol geoengineering is a proposal to artificially thicken the layer of reflective aerosols in the stratosphere, and it is hoped that this may offer a means of reducing average climate changes. So some keywords in that just first sentence. So the stratosphere is, the atmosphere is broken down into 4 layers. We live and breathe, and everything that we do as humans, except for astronauts, is in the troposphere. The layer above us is the stratosphere. And in general, it's very difficult for air from the troposphere to get into the stratosphere, or the other way around, for air in the stratosphere to come down here into the troposphere. So I'm guessing that one of the reasons that they're proposing about stratospheric aerosol geoengineering is because that, in theory, anything you put into the stratosphere doesn't directly affect humans. And then aerosols, that's just literally any type of particle you can put into the air. That's all an aerosol is. Okay. And then another key word here is that this is a proposal. So just from this first sentence of the abstract, we can see that this research group has not, as of today, conducted any actual experiments or large-scale programs involving injecting the stratosphere with aerosols. So the claim in the original article we were looking at, the Pop Science article, was that, chemtrails are real. This lab group just admitted to doing them, right? But when we actually read a paper by them, and even their most recent paper, we see that all of this is in a proposal stage. But let's keep going. So we've sort of already debunked the premise of the Pop Science article, but let's just go ahead and read through this proposal for funsies to see what it is this research group has done. And I've got a few comments on that. Okay, so second sentence of the abstract. Abstracts are dense. So second sentence of the abstract. However, previous work has shown that it could not perfectly offset the effects of climate change, and there is a concern that it may worsen climate impacts in some regions. So this is why I can kind of tell that these guys are not atmospheric scientists, because the basic idea of what they're proposing is if we put reflective material into the air, where humans aren't going to breathe it, that will just reflect sunlight. If less sunlight gets to Earth, then we will be less warm, right? That's the basic concept. What that doesn't acknowledge is that the weather and the atmosphere in general is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly complicated. And so they have no idea, right, about, hey, let's say we insert these aerosols into the atmosphere, and sure, let's say that this is successful and we reduce the rate of warming globally. Great. But also now all of a sudden the rains in Florida got much worse, or there's now a drought in California. This is Shep. He would like to join me for this video, and I think we should let him. Right. So just because we can talk about the climate effects, that is long term and global in scale, doesn't mean we know what's going to happen locally and on weather scales. So if this causes more flooding events in India, I don't know. I have no idea what the long term effects of this type of process would be. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Reducing the rate of global warming would be awesome. We really should try to be doing that through policy and all that jazz. But it is very, very difficult to predict what the weather will be like due to a change in climate. That's incredibly difficult to predict. And at this point in time, realistically, really beyond the ability of the scientific community, of the atmospheric scientific community. Okay.
Hey team, editing Maddie here. Just a quick break for pictures of very good boys. Um, so I have a lot more footage of me reading that paper, but it's pretty much just rambly and not related to chemtrails. So I am going to link the whole paper in the description of this video. So you can read it for yourselves if you would like. And if you have any questions, just put it in the comments and I will do my best to answer it. Um, okay, back to the actual video.
The main takeaway from this video is that while, yes, this lab group at Harvard is proposing at least an experiment to inject aerosols into the stratosphere, and the method that they're proposing to distribute those aerosols are airplanes. This is, as of this article published this year, 2020, still very much in the proposal stage. So this article, previous articles published by the same group, are far from the smoking gun that the Pop Science article we looked at in the last video, Chemtrails Part 2, Part 1, it's far from the smoking gun of, see, people have been they're admitting to using chemtrails to put different chemicals into the atmosphere. So if you haven't watched my first video on why chemtrails aren't real, they are in fact just what's called condensation trails. It has to do with the mixing of two different air parcels of different temperatures and relative humidities. You can mix two unsaturated air parcels together and end up with something that's saturated, and you get a cloud. And that is the phenomena that you see behind planes. Those are just clouds. There's nothing in them but what's in a normal cloud. It's mostly water. So, okay. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. You guys are wonderful. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging in there till this point in the video. I will see you all next Sunday, and until then, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to be kind. All right, bye team.